He had no choice but to contact the owner of the store for help, to borrow a car from him to get out of town. But the owner said Tom would never get out of here, and he told him about a legend. It turns out that a long time ago, the location of the villa was a church, used to collect sinful souls. Then for some reason the church was demolished. People built this villa on top of the church's foundation, but anyone who has committed sins, once they moved into this villa, they could never leave. After learning this information, Tom decided to take his daughter and leave immediately. Without a car, they had to walk in the dark. He didn't know how long he had been walking, finally saw a light ahead, but when he got closer, he was dumbfounded. Originally they had been heading downhill, now they were back at the villa again. It was already late at night. Tom decided to leave tomorrow after tonight. The two of them had just laid down and were ready to sleep. Suddenly there was a flash of white light. He felt as if someone was taking pictures with a camera, but this scene seems to be familiar, so the photo he saw in the basement before was taken at this time of day. Then he got up to check. He wanted to find out who was taking the pictures, but just as he stepped out, his daughter's room was unlocked, and she was pulled into another dimension. A bathtub filled with water stood out. The next moment, a ghost appeared behind her. Tom was pressed to the ground and hammered. He came back to his senses and took a closer look. He realized that the ghost was his ex-wife, but in the blink of an eye, the ghost suddenly disappeared. He got up and ran up the stairs. He pushed open the door and found himself from the other day. His real self was in the middle of creating something, but he couldn't see his current self. He went out of the room. He was about to go to the store to buy his daily necessities. Then Tom wrote in his notebook that he had to leave quickly. That explains why he was the same person. Then he went to the living room, but time and space were dislocated again. This time it was the time when they first moved in, and the voice Tom heard when he first moved in. Tom's future self was actually calling for help, and then the staircase was distorted. His watch started to go out of control. He struggled up the stairs to find his daughter, and then there was a flash of white light. He realized he was still standing in the same place, and no matter how he tried, he couldn't climb the stairs. He would end up back on the first floor, but he didn't give up for his daughter. After climbing step by step, although he successfully reached the second floor, but he entered another time and space. Here, he met the old man who spoke to his daughter. Tom begged him to let his daughter go, but the other man said it was all Tom's fault. Enraged, he beat up the old man, but when he took off his hat, he realized that the old man was himself, because from the moment he stepped into the house, he was trapped here forever. Tom was so scared, he didn't know what to do. He sat down on the floor in a state of weakness. The old man came up to him and said, "Now you know what to do." And then there was a flash of white light. The old man disappeared. At that moment, his daughter came down from upstairs. He hugged her and blamed himself. Then he carried her out of the villa. Time returned to normal. At that moment, his angry wife came back from outside. Tom took his daughter into the car and told his wife a secret he'd been hiding for years. It turned out that his ex-wife's death was not an accident.
I let her drown. I could have pulled her out. And I didn't. I wanted her to die. All those years, being so angry, hating her so much. And keeping it inside.